Imagine a vast green ocean with no end in sight. A place where trees rise like living cathedrals, where morning mist caresses the surface of endless rivers, and where every sound, from the buzz of an insect to the distant roar of a great cat, reminds us this is no ordinary forest. This is the Amazon, the lungs of the planet, both mysterious and essential for life on Earth. Here, millions of species coexist, many still unknown to science. The Amazon is a living library of natural history, where every leaf, every drop of water, and every ray of light tells a different story. And within this vastness live creatures that seem to have stepped out of ancient myths or magical tales. Today, we embark on a journey that is not just geographical, but emotional. We'll uncover the secret lives of the Amazon's most fascinating creatures, from the mighty jaguar to the tiny, radiant poison dart frog, from howler monkeys that cry like forest spirits to parrots that seem to carry the voices of generations. Prepare to be surprised, to smile, to feel awe, and above all, to be amazed. For every encounter with these creatures is also an encounter with ourselves, with our curiosity, our ancestral fear of the unknown, and our urgent need to protect what remains wild at the heart of the world. Welcome to the Amazon. Welcome to life's greatest spectacle. Among the infinite colors of the Amazon jungle, a flash of green, blue, and yellow cuts the air with vibrant wings. It is the Amazon parrot, one of the most charismatic and beloved birds of South America. More than just a bird, it is a true narrator of the rainforest. Indigenous peoples have known it for millennia. Archaeological remains show it was already domesticated in pre-Columbian times. Its ability to imitate the human voice made it a guardian of secrets. Some believed parrots could repeat messages from the gods or transmit the voices of ancestors. Even today, in many villages, they are considered a symbol of joy and companionship. The Amazon parrot lives in noisy flocks that fill the dawns of the forest with endless choruses. Its cry, strong and sharp, can be heard for miles, and it is not unusual to see them gathered in the famous clay licks, walls of clay where hundreds of birds congregate to feed on minerals that neutralize toxins from the fruits they eat. This natural spectacle is one of the rainforest's most fascinating rituals. A curious fact: these parrots can live up to 60 or even 70 years. That means one parrot can accompany several generations of a family. There are stories of Spanish conquistadors astonished to hear parrots repeating words in indigenous languages, believing they were sorcerers disguised as birds. However, their beauty has put them in danger. Illegal trade and deforestation threaten many species of Amazon parrots. Every time a flock is reduced, the Amazon loses part of its music. Watching an Amazon parrot in freedom is not only seeing a colorful bird, it is hearing the ancient voice of the forest, a living echo that reminds us of how fragile and yet powerful nature is. On the calm shores of Amazonian rivers and lagoons appears an animal as curious as it is endearing, the capybara, also known as carpincho. Weighing nearly 70 kilos and reaching up to 1.3 meters in length, it holds the title of the largest rodent in the world. At first glance, it looks like a cross between a giant rabbit and a small aquatic pig, but behind its peaceful appearance lies a fascinating story. The first Spanish chroniclers of the 16th century were astonished when they saw these animals and described them as water pigs. They soon became part of local folklore. Indigenous peoples already knew them well. They understood that capybaras are social animals, always moving in groups, and deeply dependent on water to survive. In fact, their name in Guarani literally means Lord of the Grass. The capybara is a master of coexistence. In the Amazon, it can be seen sharing its space with birds perched on its back, with curious monkeys approaching to play, or even resting peacefully near caimans. This natural calm has made them a symbol of peace and tolerance. A curious fact that always surprises: during colonial times, the Catholic Church classified capybaras as fish because of their aquatic habits, allowing them to be eaten during Lent. Thus, they went from being simple rodents to part of cultural and gastronomic tradition. Today, although not critically endangered, capybaras face threats from habitat loss and hunting. Yet they remain ambassadors of Amazonian serenity. Watching a group of capybaras sunbathing on a riverbank is like seeing the perfect portrait of a calm, harmonious life in the jungle. In the heart of the Amazon, where the jungle breathes with its own rhythm and the rivers snake like the arteries of a green giant, reigns a silent, strong, and majestic predator, the jaguar. It is not simply an animal, but a symbol. Since ancestral times, pre-Columbian cultures such as the Maya and Inca revered it as the god of the night, guardian of the underworld, and a spirit capable of moving between worlds. The jaguar does not roar like other felines. Its call is a deep growl that resonates in the thickness of the forest, an echo that sends shivers down the spine of anyone who hears it. Its black rosettes are not just beauty, but perfect camouflage among the shadows of the jungle. With a precise leap and the most powerful bite of any American big cat, it can pierce the skull of its prey in a single movement. But perhaps most fascinating is its relationship with water. Unlike many big cats, the jaguar loves swimming. It submerges itself in the rivers of the Amazon as if they were part of its natural territory, stalking caimans and giant fish. This duality, relentless strength on land and silent elegance in water, makes it an undisputed king of two worlds. Indigenous peoples tell stories of jaguars that could transform into men at night, or of shamans who acquired their spirit to gain bravery. Even today, in many Amazonian villages, dreaming of a jaguar is a sign of power and protection. Yet despite its might, this magnificent feline faces danger, deforestation, poaching, and habitat loss. Every time a jaguar disappears, a heartbeat of the Amazon goes silent. To protect it is not only to save an animal, it is to preserve a living myth, a fragment of the jungle's soul. Among the damp leaves of the Amazon forest floor, under a cloak of shade and mystery, leaps a tiny but powerful creature, the poison dart frog, Dendrobate. Barely a few centimeters in size, it looks harmless, but its bright, colorful skin hides a lethal secret. Bright red, electric blue, intense yellow, each tone is a warning that shouts, "Don't touch me." Since ancient times, indigenous peoples of the Amazon knew its power. They did not call it a frog, but a spirit of the forest. They used the venom from its skin to coat the tips of their arrows and blow darts, turning them into deadly weapons. Hence its popular name, poison dart frog. A tiny amount was enough to bring down prey or enemies. But the most fascinating thing is that the poison is not present from birth. In the wild, dendrobates acquire toxicity through the insects and ants they eat. Curiously, when raised in captivity without that diet, they lose their venom completely. From a lethal creature, they become simply a colorful, harmless amphibian. Scientists have studied their toxins for years, discovering compounds that could be useful in medicine, especially in painkillers far more powerful than morphine. A paradox of nature: what kills can also heal. Yet like many Amazonian wonders, dendrobates are threatened by deforestation and the illegal pet trade. Seeing one in the wild is like contemplating a living diamond, a jewel beating within the rainforest's dampness. The dendrobate reminds us that in the Amazon, greatness doesn't always come with size. Sometimes the smallest creature carries the most astonishing power. In the highest treetops of the Amazon, where light barely filters through the leaves, lives one of the rainforest's most unique and endearing animals, the three-toed sloth, Bradypus tridactylus. With its face that seems always smiling and its deliberately slow movements, it has become a symbol of calm and patience. The first European explorers who described it in the 18th century were perplexed. They thought its slowness was a defect, but science later revealed the opposite. The sloth's slowness is a perfect survival strategy. By moving slowly, it barely spends energy and goes unnoticed by predators like the jaguar or the harpy eagle. Its home is the canopy of the forest. There it spends most of its life hanging from branches, sleeping up to 15 hours a day and feeding mainly on leaves. But the most fascinating thing happens in its fur. A microcosm of algae and small insects grows there, giving it a greenish tone that helps it camouflage even more among the leaves. It is as if it carries a living garden on its body. A curious fact: despite its fame for slowness, the sloth is an excellent swimmer. When it falls into the water, it moves with surprising grace, using its long claws like oars. This secret makes it even more mysterious and contradictory. In Amazonian legends, sloths were seen as quiet spirits of the forest, guardians of time. Their silence and apparent immobility inspired respect and a touch of magic. Today, the three-toed sloth faces the threat of deforestation. Every tree cut means a lost home. Watching it in the wild, slowly swinging among the branches, is like seeing the Amazon itself breathe calmly, a reminder that patience is also a form of power. When the sun barely begins to illuminate the Amazon rainforest and the mist slowly dissolves over the trees, a deep sound rumbles in the distance. It is not thunder, nor the roar of a predator. It is the call of the Peruvian howler monkey, Alouatta puruensis, known for having one of the most powerful voices in the animal kingdom. Its howl can travel up to 5 kilometers through the forest, becoming a kind of morning anthem that announces the awakening of nature. The first European explorers, upon hearing it, believed they were listening to giant creatures hidden in the depths of the jungle. For many indigenous peoples, these monkeys were not simple animals. They were messengers of spirits, heralds warning of rains or storms. They live high in the canopy, moving slowly from branch to branch in family groups. Their diet is mainly leaves, which explains their calm rhythm of life. But when it is time to defend their territory, their howls become true sound weapons, capable of intimidating intruders without physical combat. What makes them unique is the structure of their throat. They possess an enlarged hyoid bone that acts as a natural resonance chamber. Thanks to this, their deep, cavernous voice amplifies to astonishing levels. In a way, they are the opera singers of the jungle. Over centuries, howler monkeys have inspired legends. Some communities believe that if a traveler hears their call at night, it means the spirits of the forest are protecting him. Today, although threatened by deforestation, they remain the acoustic guardians of the Amazon. To hear a chorus of howler monkeys at dawn is to feel that the forest itself is breathing, and that within that voice lies a mystery as old as the jungle itself. In the shadows of the Amazon rainforest, under the silver light of the moon and the murmur of rivers, appears a small yet captivating feline, the ocelot Leopardus pardalis. With its fur covered in spots and rosettes that look hand-painted, it is one of the most elegant and mysterious animals of the American continent. Unlike the jaguar, the ocelot is much smaller, weighing between 10 and 15 kilos, but no less fascinating. It is an expert nocturnal hunter, moving in absolute silence to ambush birds, rodents, and even small monkeys. Its large, shining eyes reflect light like beacons in the dark, inspiring indigenous legends. Many believe ocelots can see people's souls or pierce the veil between the real and the spiritual world. In pre-Columbian times, its image appeared in ceramics and textiles of cultures such as the Maya and Aztec. For them, the ocelot symbolized power, beauty, and connection with the nocturnal gods. Even today, some Amazonian communities consider it a protective animal that guides hunters. A curious fact, despite being a predator, the ocelot has long been a victim of its own beauty. Its luxurious fur made it a target for poachers for centuries. Thanks to conservation programs, its populations have recovered in some areas, but deforestation still threatens it. Observing an ocelot in the wild is like admiring a living piece of ancestral art. Its stealthy gait and hypnotic spots remind us that the rainforest is also a museum of natural wonders. The ocelot is not just another feline, it is a nocturnal spirit that keeps the Amazon's mystery alive. Deep in the Amazon, where sunbeams filter like golden threads through the canopy, a noisy troupe of small acrobats fills the air with life and movement. These are the Cimeres, known as squirrel monkeys. With their expressive eyes and golden white fur, they look like mischievous characters from a children's fable. Since the 16th century, European chroniclers wrote about these tiny monkeys that moved in massive troops, sometimes of more than 300 individuals. Their social behavior is as complex as it is fascinating. Within the group there are hierarchies, games, disputes, and alliances, like a miniature city hanging among the trees. Saimaris spend most of the day leaping from branch to branch, searching for fruits, insects, and small vertebrates. Their agility is astonishing. They can jump several meters with perfect precision, making them one of the most skilled acrobats of the Amazon. A curious fact is their communication. They use up to 25 different vocalizations, from high-pitched shrieks to short whistles, which allow them to coordinate and warn of predators. For scientists, they are a perfect example of collective intelligence in the animal kingdom. In indigenous stories, Saimiri monkeys are portrayed as playful spirits of the forest, guardians of joy and chaos. Their endless energy contrasts with the solemn calm of the sloth or the majesty of the jaguar, reminding us that the Amazon is not only mystery but also laughter and play. Today, although not critically endangered, Saimiri populations are affected by habitat loss and illegal pet trade. Watching a troop of squirrel monkeys in freedom, swinging and calling to one another, is to witness the pure essence of the Amazon: chaotic, vibrant, and bursting with life. In the dark, silent waters of the Amazon, where the river seems an endless mirror, hides a predator that has inhabited Earth since prehistoric times: the Amazonian caiman. With its eyes shining in the dim light and its body still beneath the surface, it seems more like an ancestral shadow than a simple reptile. Several species live in the Amazon basin, but all share an aura of mystery. Indigenous peoples have lived with them for centuries, seeing them as guardians of rivers and lagoons. Some legends say caimans are ancient spirits that protect the jungle's secrets and punish those who dare to profane it. By day, they bask on the banks, seemingly calm. But by night, their true nature awakens. With a sudden movement, they can strike the water and catch fish, birds, or even mammals that come too close. Their jaws, filled with sharp teeth, exert such pressure that it is nearly impossible to escape once caught. One curious trait: their patience. A caiman can remain motionless for hours, waiting for the perfect moment to attack. This ability has earned them the title Masters of Silence. They also play a vital role in the Amazon ecosystem, regulating species and maintaining natural balance. To European explorers, they were terrifying and fascinating, described as dragons of the New World. And in a way, they weren't wrong. Caimans are descendants of a lineage that has survived millions of years almost unchanged. Today, though threatened by hunting and wetland destruction, they still reign over Amazonian rivers. To see their glowing eyes on the water at night is like looking back into Earth's origins. The caiman is not only a predator, it is a living reminder of nature's strength and eternity. In the canopy of the Amazon, where trees reach for the sky, appears one of the most iconic and charismatic birds of South America, the toko toucan. Its giant orange beak, blazing like fire, makes it a living work of art. At first glance, it may look like an exaggerated ornament, but in reality it is a versatile, surprisingly light tool. Indigenous peoples have long regarded it as a messenger of the forest. In some communities, the toucan was seen as a link to the afterlife, carrying souls of the dead to the sky. Its image appears on ancient ceramics and ornaments, a reminder of its symbolic importance in Amazonian cultures. The toucan's enormous beak, nearly a third of its body, serves multiple functions, reaching fruits on thin branches, regulating body temperature with its network of blood vessels, and intimidating rivals with its appearance. Fun fact, despite its size, the beak is hollow and made of lightweight keratin, surprisingly fragile. Toko toucans usually live in pairs or small family groups. Their calls, a mix of deep croaks and rhythmic sounds, echo in the forest like ancestral drums. At dawn, their black silhouettes crowned with flaming beaks stand out against the pink sky, one of the Amazon's most striking sights. Today, though not in grave danger, toucans face threats from deforestation and the illegal pet trade. Seeing one free, perched high in a tree, is to witness a living symbol of tropical joy, a reminder that the jungle doesn't only roar and howl, it also smiles in. In the murky, mysterious waters of the Amazon, where currents hide more secrets than they reveal, lives one of the world's most feared and misunderstood fish, the piranha. With razor-sharp teeth and a bloody reputation, it has inspired terrifying stories for centuries. Spanish chroniclers in the 16th century told tales of piranha shoals stripping animals to bone within minutes. These accounts grew into dark legends, and later movies made them into aquatic monsters. But the truth is more complex. Most of the time, piranhas are not ruthless hunters but river recyclers, feeding on dead fish, insects, and fallen fruits. They become aggressive only during food shortages or while defending nests. In this way, they play a vital role, cleaning the waters and keeping balance. Fun fact, proportionally, their bite is stronger than that of a great white shark. Their teeth are replaced in blocks, ensuring a constant arsenal. For indigenous communities, piranhas inspire both fear and respect. Their teeth are used as tools, their meat as food. Shamans view their spirit as a symbol of ferocity and survival. To watch a piranha shoal in the wild is to glimpse the raw face of the Amazon, a place where life and death coexist every instant. High above the Amazon, where trees rise like living towers, soars a majestic predator, the harpy eagle. With a wingspan of over 2 meters and talons as large as those of a bear, it is one of the world's most powerful birds of prey. Its presence commands respect. For indigenous peoples, it was a sacred spirit, a guardian of the forests, a symbol of strength. The first European explorers, stunned by its size, called it the winged monster of America. Unlike other eagles, The harpy hunts large prey, monkeys, sloths, even animals the size of a medium dog. Its hunting is silent, gliding through the canopy and striking in an instant. Today, seeing a harpy eagle in the wild is a rare privilege. Its silhouette against the Amazon sky is a reminder that winged giants still watch over the forest. Among the sunlit branches of the Amazon, where green meets birdsong, appears a graceful, enigmatic reptile, the Amazon iguana. With bright green scales and a spiny crest along its back, it looks like a tiny tropical dragon guarding the forest. The first European explorers were fascinated. Some described it as a snake with legs, others as a miniature dragon. For indigenous peoples, the iguana symbolized patience and regeneration, since it often loses its tail and grows it back, as if reborn. The iguana spends much of the day basking in the sun on high branches, absorbing heat to regulate its body. It is mainly herbivorous, feeding on leaves, flowers, and fruits, though sometimes adding insects. Its climbing and swimming skills make it a versatile jungle dweller. Fun fact, despite its prehistoric look, the iguana is timid. When threatened, it leaps from great heights into the water and swims away with surprising agility. In Amazonian culture, seeing an iguana is considered a sign of good luck. Its peaceful nature has made it a symbol of balance. Yet deforestation and illegal pet trade threaten it. Watching an iguana bask in the sun is like seeing a living fragment of ancient times, proof that some creatures have escaped the passage of time. In the wetlands and mangroves of the Amazon basin and the Caribbean, a vision from a dream appears: the scarlet ibis, Eudocimus ruber. Its brilliant red plumage, burning under the sun, makes it one of South America's most spectacular birds. Its color is no accident. Born gray-brown, young ibises turn scarlet as they feed on crabs rich in carotenoids, transforming pigments into fire-red feathers. Each bird becomes a living canvas painted by the ecosystem itself. European chroniclers of the 16th century were astonished. Some called it a bird of fire, others saw it as a divine omen. For indigenous peoples, it was a messenger between water and sky, a symbol of renewal. In Trinidad and Tobago, it became the national bird. Scarlet ibises live in colonies, forming red clouds at sunset over swamps, a spectacle of nature. A curious fact, despite their elegance, they are practical survivors, probing mud with curved bills, flying long distances, and often nesting alongside herons. Today, destruction of wetlands and hunting threaten them. Yet to see a flock in freedom is to witness a chromatic miracle, living flames dancing across the green and blue of the Amazon. The Amazon is not just a forest, it is a living universe. Every creature we've met, from the jaguar prowling in silence to the tiny, dazzling dendrobate, from the mighty harpy eagle to the gentle three-toed sloth, is a piece of an ancient puzzle that sustains Earth's balance. In every roar, every howl, every flap of wings, and every leap, the rainforest speaks. It reminds us life takes infinite forms, some fierce, others tender, all essential. Indigenous peoples always knew this. Protecting animals is not an act of compassion, but of shared survival. Faces grave threats: deforestation, poaching, climate change. Each tree cut is a lost home, each vanished species, a story erased forever. But there is still hope. Every time someone hears the cry of a parrot, sees the red flight of scarlet ibises, or locks eyes with an ocelot, the bond between humans and nature is reborn. That bond can turn into action, to conserve, respect, and admire without destroying. The Amazon is a mirror of ourselves, our curiosity, our fears, our capacity to dream. To protect it is to protect the wild spirit that still lives within us. So next time you think of the Amazon, don't imagine it only as a distant land. See it as a heart beating for all, as lungs breathing for the entire planet, and as a stage where life performs its grandest masterpiece. The spectacle of the forest continues. The question is, will we keep the curtain open?